Good morning, students. Hope you all are studying well. Today we are going to start with next chapter called Markets Around Us. We go to the market to buy many things: vegetables, soap, toothpaste, masala, bread, rice, dal, clothes, notebooks, biscuits, etc. There are many kinds of markets that we may visit for our everyday needs. These can include shops, hawker stalls in our neighborhood, a weekly market, a large shopping complex, perhaps even a mall. In this chapter, we look at some of these markets and try to understand how the goods that are sold there reach buyers, who these buyers are, who these sellers are, and the sorts of problems they face. Let us first talk about weekly market. A weekly market is so called because it is held on a specific day of the week. Weekly markets do not have permanent shops. Traders set up shops for the day and then close them up in the evening. Then they may set up at a different place the next day. There are thousands of such markets in India. People come here for their everyday requirements. Many things in weekly markets are available at cheaper rates. This is because when shops are in permanent buildings, they requires a lot of expenditure as they have to pay rent, electricity, fees to the government. They also have to pay wages to their workers. Weekly markets also have a large number of shops selling the same goods, which means there is competition among them. If some trader were to charge a high price, people would move to another shop where the same thing may be available more cheaply or where the buyer can bargain and bring the price down. One of the advantages of weekly market is that most things you need are available at one place. Whether you want vegetables, groceries or cloth items, utensils, all of them can be found here. Children, we also buy things from other kinds of markets. There are many shops that sell goods and services in our neighborhoods. We may buy milk from the dairy, groceries from departmental stores, stationery, eatables, or medicines from other shops. Many of these are permanent shops, while others are roadside stalls, such as that of the vegetable hawker, the fruit vendor, the mechanic, etc. Shops in the neighborhood are useful in many ways. They are near our home and we can go there on any day of the week. Usually, the buyer and seller know each other, and these shops also provide goods on credit. This means that we can pay for the purchases later. There are other markets in the urban areas that have many shops, popularly called shopping complexes. These days, in many urban areas, you also have large multi-storied air-conditioned buildings with shops on different floors, known as malls. In these urban markets, you get both branded and non-branded goods. The companies producing these products sell them through shops in large urban markets and at times through special showrooms. As compared to non branded goods, fewer people can afford to buy branded ones. Now, students, from where do you think shop owners procure their goods? Goods are produced in factories, on farms, and in homes. However, we don't buy directly from the factory or from the farm, nor would the producers be interested in selling us small quantities such as 1 kilo of vegetables or one plastic mug. The people in between the producer and the final consumers are the traders. The wholesale trader first buy goods in large quantities. These will then be sold to other traders. In these markets, buying and selling takes place between traders. It is through these links of traders that goods reach faraway places. The trader who finally sells this to the consumer is the retailer. This could be a trader in a weekly market, a hawker in the neighborhood, or shop in shopping complex. So we far have seen different marketplaces where people buy and sell a variety of goods and services. All these markets are in specific locality and work in a particular manner and time. However, it is not always necessary that one has to go to the market to purchase goods. You can place orders for a variety of things through the phone and these days through the internet, and the goods are delivered at your home. In clinics and nursing homes, you may have noticed sale representatives waiting for doctors. Such persons are also engaged in the selling of goods. Thus, buying and selling takes place in different ways, not necessarily through shops in the market. The markets that we looked at above are the ones that we recognize easily. However, there are markets that we may not be so aware of. This is because a large number of goods are bought and sold that we don't use directly. For example, a farmer uses fertilizers to grow crops that he purchases from special shops in the city, and they in turn get them from factories. A car factory purchases engine, gears, petrol tanks, axles, wheels, etc. from various other factories. We don't usually see all the buying and selling, but only the final product, the car, in the showroom. The story is similar for any other good.